What's up, guys? I'm going to show you some more CDs today, so let's get right into it. Starting off, we have the ever classic My Bloody Valentine, Loveless. Easily the most iconic shoegaze album. And I've always loved the cover for it, actually. It's that hazy guitar. I mean, it pretty much tells you all you need to know about the album, but there's a disc. And yeah, not much to the jacket. The lyrics aren't really the most discernible, so it's not really the type of thing you'd sing along to anyway, I guess, you know. Alright, next up we have another really classic album, Neutral Milk Hotels and the Airplane Over the Sea. They do, of course, have the vinyl box set, but this is the only thing that I have from them on CD. Of course, the artwork for it's awesome. We have two different inserts. My cat's walking around bumping against my tripod, so bear with all the shakes. Of course, the lyrics are written as a single run-on sentence with no indication when it's an extra song, and a few random notes just thrown about in there. Yeah. There's a song, I believe it was King of Carrot Flowers Part 2. It says something about a synthetic flying machine. I've always liked to think of this turntable airplane as the synthetic flying machine. And then here's our other insert. This is a double-sided piece of paper. But yeah, if you haven't listened to In the Airplane Over the Sea yet, it's definitely a must listen. I'd say it's maybe a tad overrated by a lot of people who enjoy it, but nonetheless, I do think it's a worthwhile listen. Next, everything that's left is Nine Inch Nails albums. I have a lot of Nine Inch Nails albums that will definitely be stretching out into my next video. So we have the debut album, Pretty Hate Machine. It's pretty classic. Not my personal favorite of his, but I mean, it's cool. I mean, I love Nine Inch Nails. I have all their albums. If I don't have it on CD, I have it on vinyl. Just cool. Fold out insert. Lyrics. Yeah, Pretty Hate Machine's a little bit too pop for my taste. I don't think he was quite at his peak with his debut. At some point, I decided that I really wanted to start collecting Nine Inch Nails remixes. I didn't really get that too far into it, but I do have the Sin single. I wish I hadn't got a really shitty used version, just because this case is all smeared up. I might try to replace the case eventually. That is something that I've kind of recently discovered, because I sometimes buy CDs outside their case and they'll send all the packaging anyway, and yeah, I can put in a separate case. But yeah, this little paper panel is all there is to it, so I'm not going to get it out. There's the disc. Kind of gives me Prince vibes in terms of the art, actually, but yeah. It has 3 different versions of Sin, plus a cover of Get Down, Make Love by Queen. Next up, we have this classic EP, Broken, which also includes a couple hidden tracks at the end, but cool fold out packaging like this. So that's pretty cool. This is heaviest, obviously it's not an album, but his heaviest, noisiest, most aggressive, abrasive music. Classic songs like, you know, Wish, Last, Happiness and Slavery. Great stuff. This, I think, is the fan favorite album. It's definitely up there for me. It's kind of hard for me to decide what my definitive ranking of Nine Inch Nails is. I don't think this is my favorite. I think I do know what my favorite is, but I'll get to that later. But we got the Downward Spiral. Pretty neat art and packaging on this, so, you know, whole slipcase. I'll show you the CD first, since that's a little bit easier, but and even just the print on the disc, I think is pretty cool. Put in so it's right side up with the logo there, but cool stuff. And then, yeah, man, I just really like the art for it. Flip through it. Of course, this contains the classic song "Hurt" that everybody thinks that Johnny Cash wrote, but he actually just covered it. And I have nothing against his cover. It just bothers me that so many people think that Johnny Cash is the one that wrote it. I mean, I think the Nine Inch Nails version is better anyway. But Johnny Cash is still cool. So yeah, that's Downward Spiral. Next up, this is the only other remix type thing that I got from Nine Inch Nails. Like I said, I keep on meaning to get more. But yeah, we got Further Down Spiral, which is the remix version of Downward Spiral. And yeah, it doesn't have a whole lot going on to its packaging. This right side up. And yeah, just a little 2-panel insert. Credits on the back. There's some very minimal art on the inside. Now I think this, most people that, you know, if their fan favorite isn't Downward Spiral, this is kind of like next most popular one, but we got Fragile. So this would be his most ambitious album. Obviously it's a double disc, so you know it's going to be his longest. I'll show you what's going on behind the disc, even though it's nothing particularly exciting, but yeah. And you know, this just kind of crosses the spectrum, you know. I mean, personally, I think it's a tad loaded album, but I mean, it's not bad by any stretch. It's definitely in the upper half of Nine Inch Nails albums for me. I don't know if you hear it, but my dishwasher is running right now. So yeah, that's the Fragile. And then this one, kind of an unpopular opinion, but I think this is honestly my favorite Nine Inch Nails album we got, With Teeth. So this was kind of like a more sleek, polished alternative rock album. And yeah, I think a lot of people preferred his earlier, more ambitious. I've always had trouble saying that word. Experimental, earlier work. But what can I say? He just does this more sleek, produced sound surprisingly well, I think. And yeah, I think this is totally a kick-ass album. And that's what I'm going to wrap it up on today. So like I said, I'll finish up my Nine Inch Nails CD collection in my next video. Like I said, I already did all my vinyl videos, so if you want to look back through them, that's where I have my other Nine Inch Nails albums. I do love Nine Inch Nails. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.